أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Lesson number 15 I think, yeah. Last week we discussed Jannah. Today we're going to speak about Jahannam. We're going to speak about hell. Who did Allah create Jahannam for? Jahannam, hell, is for the kuffar, for the disbelievers, the munafiqs. You heard the word munafiq before. Munafiq means hypocrites. Who are the hypocrites? Who are the hypocrites? No, yeah, okay, kuffar, yeah, but there were people in the time of the Prophet ﷺ who were hypocrites. They acted as if they were Muslim, but they weren't Muslim. So they used to come and sit with the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba. They used to sit with them and they used to make salah even with them. They used to respect the Prophet ﷺ and all that stuff, but they used to spy. So then they used to go back to the other disbelievers, the other kuffar, and then they used to poke fun at the Prophet ﷺ and poke fun at the Sahaba and say, yeah, they don't even know that, we're not real believers, we're just pretending. So these were the munafiqs. So they show you one face, but they actually something else. So that was the munafiqs in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. But in today's world, you also get hypocrites. And you know what the definition of hypocrite is? We learned in the hadith that إذا وعد أخلف, somebody who promises and he breaks his promise. He who speaks, if he speaks, he lies, promises, he breaks, and if he's entrusted, yeah. Exactly. So these are the signs of hypocrites. And then also you get hypocrisy on so many levels. Like if you say to your parents you're going to do something and then you just say to please them and you don't do it and your intention is never to do it or whatever, so that's also levels of hypocrisy. So being two-faced basically. So you show people one face, you show one facade, F-A-C-A-D-E, F-A-C-A-D-E, facade. You show one appearance to the people, but you something else. Like for example, if a man he displays to people that he's very pious, he walks around with a tasbih and he's pious and all that, people say, "Whoa, that man is very pious," but at home that man sits and he drinks wine. So that is a munafiq. Or he goes to the casinos and he gambles or whatever the case may be, So that is also hypocrisy. That is munafiq. So the Jahannam is for the kuffar, for the hypocrites, and the sinful and the wicked people to be punished. So that means amongst the Muslim also. So if Allah finds you guilty, like you go to a court now, and the judge says, right, I imprison you to so many years or whatever the case may be. So too, on the day of judgment, if Allah decides that your sentence is for 1 year or for 5 days or for 1 hour or whatever, then Jahannam is for you also. But we make dua, but that Allah saves us from that. But one thing that you must remember, and we spoke about this, is that Muslims will never stay forever in Jahannam. You will always come out. Last week, I think we spoke about the intercession of Rasulullah, when Rasulullah will go find the Muslims in Jahannam and remove them. So if the sinful and wicked people of Muslims, they will also go in for a short time, probably, and then they will come out. But the kafirs, those who didn't believe in Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the atheists and the disbelievers, they will be imprisoned there forever. They don't come out. The chief guardian of Jahannam is Angel Malik. He is the chief guardian of hell. Who was the chief guardian of Jannah? Ridwan, right. Describe Jahannam. There's complete darkness in Jahannam. Jahannam is very dark. Here it talks about the fire. It also has 7 doors, entrances. The intensity of the fire in hell is very great. I mean, if let's say now you take a match, you take a match and you just put your finger, you can hold your finger for 5 seconds. You hold the match here and you keep your finger there for 5 seconds. Will you be able to handle that heat? You're going to pull away. Why do we always have this issue? You're going to pull away. You're going to pull away, and then because you can't handle the fire of this, of this world. So that is one match. Now, if you have a fireplace at home, No? And now you stack it up with wood, and now you light it. So when the wood is just starting to burn, then you go close to it, you put your hands there, and then you can feel the heat. But once it starts getting hotter and hotter, then you can't sit close to the fire. If you're going to get too hot, you can even feel your eyeballs are burning. You think your eyeballs are going to melt, Then you have to go further away. You have to retreat. You have to come further away from the fire because of the intensity of that fire. So that fire is hotter than now you can't even leave alone the fire not even touching you. You have to retreat from the intensity of the heat only, not the fire. You're not touching the fire. You can just feel the heat, and you're already pulling back. Now imagine how hot the fire of Jahannam is going to be, when the fire of this world cannot even match the fire of Jahannam. Nabi Ibrahim a.s., when Namrud said, throw him into the fire, then you know what happened? They made a fire. It took them days to make that fire, and they made this huge pit, and they were going to throw Nabi Ibrahim a.s. into this fire. And the fire was so hot and intense that people couldn't approach Ibrahim a.s. and throw him into the fire, because the heat of that fire was so intense. So what did they do? They constructed a catapult, and they were meters and meters away from the fire, and they catapulted Nabi Ibrahim a.s. into that fire. Allahu Akbar. Now even that fire cannot even compare to the fire of Jahannam. So if you can't handle being burnt, you take a mangstokkie, a agarbatti, while it's burning, and you put it on your hand. Nah? If you can't handle that, then how are we going to handle Jahannam? May Allah save us, inshallah. That's why we make the dua, وَقِنَا عَذَابَ الْقَبْرِ وَقِنَا عَذَابَ الْحَشْرِ. We ask Allah to save you from different punishments. It is, number 4, it is the fire that was first kept burning for 1,000 years, after which it became red. I gave the example of the fireplace. The longer it burns, the more wood you fuel it, the bigger it gets, the more intense it gets. That's how intense the fire of Nabi Ibrahim a.s. got. So here this fire was burning, it was kept burning, which means it was fed for 1,000 years, and it turned from orange to red, yellow, orange to red. The red fire was then kept burning for another 1,000 years, after which it turned white. Okay, that's how intense is the fire of Jahannam. The white fire was also kept burning for another 1,000 years, after which it became black. That is why Jahannam is so dark, because the fire of Jahannam is black. The fire now burning in hell is black in color and has no light in it. So if you light a flame, the flame gives light. No? You light a match, or you make a fireplace, you'll see at the bottom the blue. Even if you put a gas stove, you'll see the blue, you'll feel the orange, but you never see red. Your fire won't become red. Nah? Have you seen a red fire already? It won't become red. Okay? But here the fire went from red, then it became to white, and now it has gone to black. That is how, Ya Allah. Imagine seeing a black fire. You'll get so scared. You must see a black fire. Angel Jibreel a.s. once told the Holy Prophet ﷺ on oath that even if a small drop of fire the size of a needle point were to be released into this world, all living beings will be burnt alive. How much? Needle point. The fire of Jahannam, this much. Thinner than that. Needle point. If that amount of fire must be dropped onto this world, every living being will be burnt to death, burnt alive. Let that sink in. Hectic na. Allah save us, inshallah. A hadith says that if a stone is thrown from the brink of hell into its pit. Now let's say you stand on top of Jahannam, and now you take a stone and you drop it in. You hear when it will fall. Like you throw something in a well. it will take more than 70 years to reach the bottom. You'll have to stay there for 70 years. And then you'll hear 70. That's how big Jahannam is. There are 70,000 valleys in hell. In each valley, 76,000 hillocks. The small hills. And in each hillock, 70,000 snakes and 70,000 scorpions. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand snakes. No.
So creatures in Jahannam.
Of course, punishment, snakes.
But why fires already? So
Yeah, more stuff. I mean, if Allah wants, Allah can put you in water and bring a shark after you also. Allah wants to do that. But there's fire. There's different types of. Here we're going to come to it. We're going to come to it now. There is one valley called Jabbul Huzn, from which the hell itself seeks refuge 70 times a day. So there's a pit or a valley called Jabbul Huzn. Some say, I read in a narration, it says Wailul lil Mutaffifin. Wail has two meanings. Wail can mean destruction to that person, or wail is also a name of a pit or a valley in what you call it in Jahannam. And they say that Jahannam itself seeks refuge 70 times a day from that pit, because that pit is so bad, it's so hectic, it's so dangerous. So here's another name for it, Jabbul Huzn. Those who worked for show and fame will enter this valley. فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. So those people who make salah for show, wail is for them. So those who worked for show and fame will enter the valley. So if you perform your salah for the sake of show and not for the sake of Allah, then that pit is for that person. Allah save us, inshallah. What are the 7 stages of Jahannam? There are 7 stages popularly called doors of hell. These are Jahannam, Dhatul Lahab. Jahannam means hell. Dhatul Lahab means the flaming fire. Hutamah, the crushing disaster, is mentioned in the Quran Sharif. Wailul likulli humazatin lumazatin alladhi jama'a malahu, is mentioned in there. Hutamah, crushing disaster. Sa'ir is the burning fire. Saqar is the scorching fire. Jahim is the fierce fire. And Hawiyah is the abyss of fire. So these are all different names of different things on in hell. So Jahannam is just one. Jahannam is hell. But in there is Dhatul Lahab, is Hutama, it's Sa'ir, is Saqar, is Jahim, and Hawiyah. All those stuff are in there. Different stages of Jahannam, of hell. Now what are the different types of punishment that will be given to the Jahannamis? They will be given many different types of punishments. Some of the punishments are big snakes and scorpions will bite them. So some of them will just some people might not burn even in the fire of Jahannam. Some people will just be terrorized by snakes and scorpions. So if you think that you will die because of a snake bite and scorpion bite, you won't. And the snakes are not small. In the qabr, there's a hadith that says that the scorpions that are going to come to you in your qabr, those scorpions are as big as donkeys. Now imagine how big the snakes are going to be there. What's the biggest snakes that we have here on the earth? Anacondas. What's the bigger, anaconda or the boa? Anaconda is the biggest, no? Bigger than a boa constrictor. Boa is bigger. Boa is bigger than anaconda, I think, not the boa constrictor. Yeah. Now imagine if the boa is so big that the boa can swallow a whole person alive. Okay, how big the snakes in the qabr and in Jahannam is going to be? That they're going to squeeze you, they're going to bite you, they're going to eat you, then they're going to spit you out, then you're alive again, then they start all over again. Hey? Yeah. Sure. Allah save us, inshallah. People will have their heads crushed by big iron hammers. So, hey? You'll breathe. You'll feel the pain. Yes, your brains will be splattered all over Jahannam. And then Allah will put your head back together and then you're going to get another shot. You'll die. You'll die. Allah says, La yamutu fiha wa la yahya. You won't die in it, nor will you live in it. So if you come to a point where you're dead and then you like almost dead, you won't die, because death is going to be like a relief for you. You're saved from punishment. You're not going to be saved. You back, your head is back again to its original size and starts again. And now when you know it's coming, there's a saying in Arabic, the Arabic proverb says, Al-intizaru ashaddu min al-maut, that waiting for death is worse than death itself. So if you know death is coming, okay, if you see that snake is coming or the scorpion is coming, okay, now you're already scared, what is this thing going to do to you? Now the thing kills you, now you're back, just like that back. Now you see him coming again. Now you know what you felt the first time around. Now you know what is in store for you. So you waiting for him to come is actually worse than you die.
So when they kill you, right, the snakes or whatever, then when you like respawn, you like remember that.
Yeah, you'll remember it. Yes, it's continuous. It's not just a physical torture; it's a psychological and emotional torture as well. You'll remember everything. Yeah, the other one is you have the heads crushed. No, not only heads crushed with hammers. It depends. You know, there's one book that I have at home that speaks about the Mi'raj, and when Rasulullah went on the Mi'raj, and then Jibreel alayhi salam explained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that person is getting that type of punishment because he did that. That one is getting that punishment because this is what he did. This is his sin. That's why he's getting that punishment. That person is getting that punishment because that was his sin in the dunya. So you will have like some people will have long nails made of copper, and they will be scratching their faces and scratching their eyes out. You know, some people will be drinking and eating their own feces and their urine. The angels will take big boulders and they'll throw it on your head and smash you, and your guts will be all splattered. When they pick it up and then you're alive again, and they smash you again. So there's a whole lot of different types of punishment depending on your sin and the grades of your sin. Like people who commit zina will get a particular type of sin. People who ate haram will get a different type of sin. People who gamble, people who drank wine. You know, there's different type of sins. Like there's sins like, I think people who drink wine, they will be given something to drink and the whole stomach and the intestines, everything will boil. And it will boil, and then, you know, like smoke will come out of their ears, their mouth, and everywhere else, and then they'll just melt from inside and melt from outside. Is hectic, you know. May Allah save us, inshallah. They will be given the type of boiling water to drink and poisonous, thorny fruits to eat. While eating this fruit, it will be stuck in their throats. To wash it down, they will ask for water, and they will be given boiling hot water. When they drink this water, all the organs will break up and wash away. While drinking this water, the lips will also melt away. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. May Allah save us. Ameen thumma ameen. Anyway, this is this week's lesson. I'll upload it, inshallah. And then a short lesson today. Okay.